you are a business, so there's a public relations component to, uh, having a law practice, having, really a business, and you gotta get the word out, but also, I kind of felt like you have some crisis communication type precautions that you have there with having Grok, kind of do a survey on the internet of what your firm is doing. And so I think that's really good. And you want to get out in front of those kinds of issues, particularly if you are a law firm that, has some high profile cases. If you got a, if you're a criminal defense attorney and you have a high profile case, you want to know what kind of things maybe the prosecutor has said, or what kinds of things are on the news, just to kind of figure out, do I need to say anything or not say anything? I think that those are some good points there.
And we used to use Google Alerts or something for that, where you could kind of do a saved and repeatable Google search within your network and have it search certain things. And AI is just so powerful because you can give it a criteria, a prompt, and say, I want to kind of look at all this stuff, but it can use context and its large language model to put bigger pieces together. And so you don't have to be as specific in terms of, well, I want to look for this phrase, but not this phrase because I don't want a lot of false positives. And it tends to get a very good result for you. So whatever that tool of choice is, it's a good one to test out. And you mentioned crisis communication, and I think that's another opportunity in your practice to make sure that when things like this residential rule comes out that could affect your client base, what tool do you have set up office-wide that you can communicate these changes and developments to your clients to ensure that they're on top of things or being aware of it if they're going to make a move or do some sort of transaction? So making sure that your email newsletter lists and your client lists are up to date so that you can easily share relevant information with them, I think is a great reminder when these types of law changes come up or issues that may affect a certain subset of your client base. Can you target that audience, so to speak, within your client base and share relevant information with them on a relatively short notice?
Yeah. And in my own experience, whenever there is a subject like this that's in the news that is going to have a widespread effect on my client base, I have done an email regarding the topic, with a blog post about, whatever the news of the day might be. And those emails, those blog digests are very effective in getting people's attention and getting your name out there in front of the clients. And so important to be top of mind with people. As an estate planning attorney, I'm not somebody that they think about a whole lot. It's a one and done situation a lot of times. But if you have that kind of content that is helpful, that people do need to be aware of, that's going to be appreciated, even if people don't actually need that information. They're just going to be, hey, he's keeping me informed, and that's going to, pay dividends for you in the future.
And you want your clients to think of you as their lawyer, not just their estate planning lawyer or their criminal lawyer or fill in the blank on your practice area, but that should be their first inclination of, boy, this is going on or this news item is hit. I really should talk to my lawyer about this. And if you can get beyond just the particular practice area that you've helped the client with and become their lawyer, you've moved that client from sort of just a transaction to a long-term loyal client. And you've built a good relationship with those individuals or that entity such that you're their first thought. And that's kind of the idea of, hey, I'm on top of the things that affect my areas of practice. You can rely on that. I've built some trust with that group, and I'm consistent in how I deliver that information. So you can overshare, I think, as well, right? We all get so much information in today's day and age, but it's nice to share timely and relevant information as it comes out that helps address that need or provides an avenue for someone to say, boy, I have more questions about this. Maybe I need to pick up the phone and give my lawyer a call.